Hello and welcome. In this video segment I will use stock setup to define the rough stock and define the material type. Following this I'll work through the procedure to center drill all the holes. On the screen is the completed geometry for lesson 3. So let's get cracking. What I'm going to do first of all is get an isometric view of the part. I'm going to move up to the very top of the screen and select the icon for isometric view. I'm just going to slide over to the left and hit the icon for screen fit. Now on the left hand side I have the toolpath manager open. If you hit Alt O on your keyboard, this hides the toolpath manager. I'm just going to hit Alt O again just to show it. If you need to resize the width of the frame, just click on the right pane, drag it out to the right. I'm going to click on it again and then drag it to the left. We're going to first set up the stock setup. So over on the left hand side in Toolpath Manager, I'm going to click on the plus sign just to the left of Properties. Just below, I'm going to pick on Stock Setup. Now the first thing we're going to do is set up the size of the material. It's 3 by 3 by 1/4 inch thick. I'm going to click in the Y space and input 3.0. I'm going to hit the tab key and here we are in the X dimension. I'm going to input 3.0. I'm going to hit tab again. Now the Z, the thickness of the part, is 0.25. I'm going to hit enter. Moving over to the left of the screen, I'm going to activate display, and also just below I'm going to activate fit to screen. So everything's looking good. Now moving to the top of this dialog box, I'm going to click on the second page, Tool Settings. Now starting at the very top, the first thing I'm going to do is the program number. I'm going to change that from 0 to 1. Now just over on the right in the tool configuration area, what I'm going to do is check mark assign tool number sequentially and also check mark warn of duplicate tool numbers. Sliding on down below, I'm also going to turn on override defaults with modal values and check clearance, retract and the feed plane. Just below this, see sequence numbers for the G-code output. I'm going to change the start from 100 to 1, and also the increments, instead of 10 I'm going to go up in increments of 1. Now if you look just to the left, material is set to aluminum inch 2024. We want to change it to aluminum 6061. So what I'm going to do is click on select. Next I'm going to open up the source drop down and pick mill library, and from this selection right near the top I'm going to pick aluminum inch 6061. So we're done here. I'm going to go down to the bottom and hit the green check mark for OK. Now we're done in stock setup, so again I'm going to hit the green check mark for OK. Now what I'd like to do now is get a top view, so back up to the top of the screen I'm going to hit on the icon for top view. Now we're going to drill, we're going to center drill all these holes. So I'm going to move into toolpaths and the second on the list, drill toolpath. I'm going to click on this guy. Now when prompted to enter new NC name, I'm going to accept this default mill lesson 3. So I'm just going to hit the green check mark for OK. Now we're prompted to select points, and on the left of the screen the drill point selection dialog box appears. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is click on entities, and what I'd like to do is capture all the center points of these circles on the screen. So what I'm going to do is pick a point approximately in the top left corner. I'm holding the mouse button down, I'm dragging it, and I'm going to pick a point right here. Now as you can see, all those circles have been grabbed. Now to move on to the next stage, I'm going to hit the OK button over in the drill point selection. Now it's time to select a tool. We're going to be using a 1/4 inch diameter center drill. So what I'm going to do is click on select library tool, and this 1/4 inch center drill, the second one on the list there, I'm going to pick that one. Now we're done with our selection of tools, so the next thing, I'm going to go down to the bottom and hit the green check mark for OK. Now this is tool number 1. I'm going to set up the spindle speed at 5,000, so I'm just going to click in the white space and input 5,000, and for the feed rate I'm going to input 7.0. I'm also going to turn the coolant on, so the coolant button, I'm going to click on it. Now at the very top I'm going to open up this drop down and set the flood to on. So we're done here. I'm going to click on the OK. OK, now we've got to input the depths and retract, etc. So I'm going to click on simple drill, no peck. There's a few things that we need to change here. First of all, I'm going to activate clearance, and then this is set to absolute, absolute, absolute. So all the depths are in absolute, which is great. I'm also going to check mark use clearance only at the start and end of operation. Now the only other thing that I'm going to change is the depth. At present it's set to 0. I'm going to change it to minus 0.2. And everything looks great here. Our retract, top of stock, everything is set. We're just going to be center drilling this in one hit. So drill counter bore is exactly what we want. I'm going to pick the OK button down at the bottom. And that completes this video. Thanks for watching.